Did you know, above the craziness of every airport is a relaxing retreat with free food, free drinks, and really cool views? That's right, I'm talking about the ever-exclusive airport lounges. For quite some time, I was curious about these. How do you get in? What is it really like inside? And of course, is it worth it? Today, we're going to be answering that question. So there's three main different types of lounges. The first type is airline branded lounges. These are your Delta SkyClubs, American Admirals Lounge, and United Clubs. Then, a little bit harder to get into, you have the American Express Centurion Lounges. And lastly, we have the Priority Pass Lounges. So the first thing everybody always wants to know is how to get into them. There's a few ways to access a lounge, and the most common way is to get a credit card that comes with complimentary lounge access. So the card I got to get access is the American Express Delta Reserve card. The other card most people get to get lounge access is the Amex Platinum. These types of credit cards generally have an annual fee of $500 to $700. They can be worth it if you pay attention and make use of all the benefits. But if you don't travel that frequently and you're not paying attention, it's really not that worth it. The second way is by flying first class internationally. Typically, with most airlines, you get free lounge access when you're flying first class internationally, but unfortunately, domestic flights do not give you access. If you're a Medallion, VIP, whatever, that doesn't automatically get you lounge access either. The credit card, I think, is the best way because if you're utilizing the other things on the credit card, it can pay for itself, but you have to be smart about it and pay attention or else you're going to be paying that yearly fee for nothing. And then the third way is to buy a single visit pass, which are typically around $60. One thing to note though is you can't buy day passes to the Centurion Lounges. So which lounge is the best? Let's take a look. First, we'll take a look at the Delta SkyClub. There are over 50 SkyClubs in the US, so chances are either the airport you're flying out of or into is going to have one. The nice thing is these are generally really big, so you don't have to wait to get in. There's always somewhere to sit. There's plenty of outlets. The food is pretty good. Most of the SkyClubs I've been to are around 20,000 square feet, and they've never been too crowded when I'm there. In my opinion, the biggest factor in how good a lounge is how good the food is. The food in all the lounges is a buffet style, and it's usually pretty good. It can be hit or miss though, depending on the location and time of day. For example, this is the Delta SkyClub in Seattle. It had this delicious steak meal. It was so good, you guys. It tasted gourmet. This is another time I went. It was a pasta and chicken meatball sort of dish. This one really was not nearly as good as the other one, so I found that the food choices are kind of inconsistent. The key is not getting to a lounge too early or too late in the day because they stop making the food at a certain time and only have the leftover snacks. But if you get there between 10 a.m. and 6 p.m., they're constantly making and bringing out fresh food to the buffets. Here's a look at food I've gotten at various different Delta SkyClubs. There's usually some really good hot options, some kind of cheese plate, some salads, sandwiches that you can take to go. In the mornings, sometimes they'll have eggs and bagels, different things like that. I found the Delta SkyClub in Miami though had much less food options than all of the ones I've been to on the West Coast. So I would check just your local airport, check the Yelp reviews. So for the most part, the food is really good, although I would say you probably can get better food at an airport restaurant, but I don't know, I think it's good enough. Another nice thing about lounges is that they have a variety of free drinks. Free water, coffee, iced tea, juice, there's usually an espresso machine, a variety of milks and sweeteners that you can put in. And they also have a list of free alcoholic drinks, but in the Delta Sky Lounge, the fancier ones you have to pay for. They range from $6 to $20, but they always have free beer and wine and a few other cocktails. Overall, for food and drink, I give the Delta Sky Lounge a 6 out of 10, just because some drinks you have to pay for and the food is sometimes really good, but sometimes it's not. One of the best parts of airport lounges is they make it really easy to get work done. So these main areas at the airport seem to never have working outlets, and it's honestly an issue. But in the lounges, there's a ton, and they all work. I found in Delta Sky Lounges, nearly every seat, probably actually every single seat, has an outlet. It's actually kind of incredible. Even these cafe seats that are mainly for eating have this stand-up outlet thing. Additionally, they have these semi-private workspaces where they're kind of walled off with an outlet, of course. So it's like having your own desk in an office. It's really nice. And I found the Delta SkyClubs to have insanely fast Wi-Fi. The one in Seattle was 100 megabits per second for both download and upload, and the one in Atlanta was nearly 200 megabits. To put that in perspective, I mean, it is like 20 times faster than my internet at home. I uploaded a video that would normally take me 20 minutes, and it only took like 60 seconds. So no doubt you could download a bunch of TV shows and movies while you're here if you wanted. And speaking of getting work done, I wanted to thank Dell in partnership with Intel for sponsoring this video. This is the Dell Latitude 9420. At just 14 inches, it's really great for having a laptop to travel and get work done. You can work at the speed of thought with this laptop because it has an 11th gen Intel V Pro processor that can scale up to 20 watts of thermal design power. The Intel IPU6 technology on the 9420 improves image quality in difficult lighting. And lighting can kind of be unpredictable when you're traveling, so this is really nice to be able to see your screen and get work done. This laptop has Express Sign-In 2.0, the world's first business PC enabled by Intel's visual sensing technology for a faster, more reliable auto wake and lock. So say you want to get up and grab more of that free lounge food, but you forget to lock your laptop, no worries, because it will sense when you're gone, lock it for you so no one can get in. The Dell Latitude 9420 is also great for conference calls. It has a clearer webcam image with temporal noise reduction, intelligent audio, and Express Connect. So it auto-adjusts audio for better sound quality and conferencing with background noise and echo reduction. I also love that it has plenty of ports, 2 USB-Cs, a USB-A, HDMI, and one of those small USD memory card readers. So this is a great laptop if you like to plug into a lot of monitors and different extensions. I'll have a link below in the description if you want to learn more about the Latitude PCs, but definitely consider it for your next work device. You can talk to your IT team and request it. For workability, I give the Delta Sky Lounge a 9 out of 10. So if you're traveling for business or finding yourself having to get work done at airports a lot, this is probably the lounge for you. So something cool about the Delta Sky Lounge is you can actually enter after your flight lands as well as before. So this is a huge benefit of the Delta Sky Lounge is as long as your flight is for that same day, you can enter at any time, before your flight, during your layover, and even after your flight. Other lounges restrict it to just a few hours before your flight, so it's actually kind of unique that they do this. And I totally forgot to get footage of this, but there are showers at the Delta Sky Lounges. I very seldom actually use this amenity, but it is nice if you have an international flight layover. Overall, I give the Delta Sky Lounges a 7 out of 10, and I would say these are the best ones for getting work done. The next kind of lounge is the Centurion Lounge. So these lounges are a little bit harder to get into. Like I said, you can't buy a day pass. The only way is with a valid credit card. This lounge has much better food, better drinks, just like a cooler style, but there are some cons as well that we'll get into. But first, let's talk about the food because this is truly the best part of this lounge. Consistently with every Centurion Lounge, the food is really good. You'll never see paper plates here. They always have actual dishware. It is buffet style, but the quality is just better. They actually partner with different celebrity chefs for each lounge. Rather than basic scrambled eggs, they had this delicious quiche thing with goat cheese. It was so good, you guys. And then there's also always a bunch of different sides, cheese board type of things, fruit, croissants, little things like that. My flight got delayed, so I was here a while, and by lunchtime they served a bunch of different stuff. They had this ravioli, a bunch of different salads. There was even some salmon I didn't get footage of. There were also some soups and some dessert options as well. The lighting in this particular area isn't the best, so I don't know if my footage really does it justice, but the food in this lounge really is the best of any lounge I've ever been to. As far as drinks go, they have all the coffee, tea, juice, everything like that, and all alcoholic drinks are free here, and they also have a better selection of cocktails. And in fact, the lounge at JFK has a secret speakeasy where you can get a nice espresso martini or other prohibition-themed cocktails, all for free. In terms of workability, this one isn't the best lounge, but it's still good. It's still better than the normal airport. There just aren't quite as many outlets, and the Wi-Fi wasn't as fast. It's also a smaller lounge in general, so not as many desk spaces or anything like that. But there is a printer. Alright, so the major con of this lounge is that it's very crowded. Probably because they have the best food, everyone with these cards that gets them access wants to go to this lounge. So on occasion, you actually have to wait 10 to 15 minutes to even get in. And then after that, there's not that many seating options. They do make sure though, once you're inside, you do get a seat. I give the Centurion Lounge a 9 out of 10. This is the best lounge for actually lounging. Not as much for doing work, but that's fine. This one simply has the best food, a cooler feel to it, a cozier design. I could truly spend all day in one of these and be happy. And I actually did. My flight got delayed all day and I wasn't mad about it.
And then the third type are the Priority Pass lounges. The Priority Pass lounge goes with the Amex Platinum. You get free access, but they're generally like not quite as good as the Centurion lounges.
So pros of Priority Pass lounges are there are tons of them. So if you have a membership, you get access to so many lounges. It's also less expensive to get access to these lounges. So if you're looking for the least expensive option, this is it. But it's important to note that on top of the yearly membership fee, you have to pay each time you use a Priority Pass lounge. Unless you get the most expensive membership, which at that point you might as well just get one of the credit cards. Cons are the quality is not as consistent. A lot of these don't have the hot buffet style food. They just have some grab and go sandwiches and snacks. They typically do have free beer, wine, coffee, tea, all of that.
From what I've heard, the Priority Pass lounges are better internationally. So if you're in like Amsterdam, those might be nicer. They are a bit less expensive for the membership. So it's a better option if you still want to go to a lounge, but you don't want to get the credit card.
All right, so are airport lounges worth it?
I think if you travel frequently enough, they are. If you're traveling 2 times or more by air per month, it's worth it because you're probably spending quite a bit on food at the airport anyway. If you're somebody who likes to get to the airport and have a glass of wine and dinner and pay for it there, then you'll probably save money by getting this. But if you're somebody who eats before, then you probably won't. One thing I've noticed for myself also is I don't care to go to the lounges if it's a really early flight. So if you fly really early, generally, you might find yourself not using it as much because you probably just want to get to the airport right before your flight, right? But if you find a lot of your flights are in the evening, you'll probably like it. I find the time that I most use the lounges are when I'm on a trip and going back home and I have to check out of my hotel early, but I don't really have anywhere to go until my flight at like 4 p.m. That's like the best time to go to the lounge. You can get food, work done, they're really comfortable. I do think the lounges are worth it in the sense that they're very relaxing. It makes going to the airport like much more enjoyable in my opinion.
When you go into a lounge, it's a totally different vibe from the rest of the airport. They're actually much quieter. Everyone's more relaxed and you just don't have that hectic energy around you that you get in the main part of the airport.
I was here all day. My flight got delayed like every hour and I honestly didn't mind because it was just very comfortable. I don't think that the airport lounges are worth it though if you travel by air less than 8 times per year. At that number, you could just buy a single visit pass when you go and you might find that half the time you don't even have time to go, or maybe you go a few times and you're like, that was cool, but honestly, it's whatever. You could just go to a restaurant when you're at the airport, right? Like you can, yeah. If you find yourself needing to get work done a lot, they are pretty fantastic for that because they have reliable Wi-Fi, outlets everywhere. You'll have no problem finding an outlet. And it just is, I don't know, it's just easier. It is. That's everything you need to know about airport lounges. I feel like I am an expert now and I quite like them. It makes the airport a nice experience. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Be sure to subscribe to my channel if you aren't yet and want more videos about basically everything. I'll give you the inside scoop on everything I know. And yeah, that's gonna be it. I'll see you guys in my next video. Bye.